please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Very good morning. Welcome to Chartbusters. Well, this is the show where we'll highlight all the buzzing stocks. We'll also give you some expert advice. For the time being, it's been a bit of a down day. The Nifty is at the low point of the day. The mid-cap index as well is struggling. And even the Nifty Bank has seen some selling pressure. Hey, Mangalam, good morning. It's a good day actually for the bears. Plenty of shorting opportunities out there. You have Just Style that's fallen off the cliff. PC Jewelers, even at 97 rupees odd, that's not finding any support. You have Century Textiles after yesterday's sharp cut. Today as well, that stock is down. And HCC, Reliance Communications, let's not talk about those two. And both of them, auditors raising various questions. And both those two stocks under some pressure.
Absolutely. A lot of stocks from the mid-caps under pressure. And, you know, when the mid-caps are underperforming, gives you a bit of an eerie feeling given the leverage positions that there would be. Yesterday, too, the market breadth was weak. And today, as we speak, 4 stocks in the red, for 1 in the green. And no support coming in from the frontliners, however. Yeah. Pull up something like the bluest of the blue chips, Hindustan Unilever. That one is at the low point of the day. But the only solace would be the Nifty Bank. 25,500 was the most active put as far as the weekly options is concerned. So it's at 25,520. Let's see whether that mark a little lower than that also holds or not. So if the bank Nifty holds, the Nifty holds, the mid-caps, they take a pummeling. Yeah,
that's right, Mangalam. And if you look at the Asian markets as well, the Hang Seng is down 500 points. You know, so keeping that in mind, we are under some pressure, but the Hang Seng is down. The Shanghai market, that's been a relative underperformer, but that was more or less flattish the last time I checked. The worrying sign is you're making money on some of these mid-cap IT stocks as well. Mindtree, case in point. From the high point of the day, it's fallen close to 3%. NIT Tech as well was up close to around 3%. That as well has come off the high point of the day. So just keep an eye out on a few of these stocks. Even the ones that were doing well, they are seeing some selling pressure and they've come off the high point of the day. But I think it's a good time to run our viewers through all the top stories as we speak.
Absolutely. So the first one, HCL Tech, takes it on the chin for the second day in a row after the management guides for 4.25 to 6.25% organic growth, which is much lower than what the street was pricing in.
And Interglobe Aviation tanks over 10% as earnings come significantly below estimates, hit by higher fuel costs, adverse forex hedge, and big decline in yields. Fuel-related headwinds take Jet Airways as well lower in trade.
HCC, that one slips over 18% after Lavasa auditor raises significant doubts about the company's ability to continue as a going concern. Auditor also says that the current liabilities exceed assets by 2,400 crore rupees and the net worth of the subsidiaries is fully or significantly eroded.
And Siemens is under some pressure as results come in line with expectations, but orders disappoint in the second quarter. Management sees delay in large orders, says that the government ordering in energy has slowed, while private capex is just picking up. The stock, though, is down 6%.
Biocon, that one is down 6% as well. The US FDA issues 7 observations in a pre-approval inspection at the Bengaluru plant. Company says that observations are procedural in nature. The stock still down 6%.
All right, then, the Nifty is seeing some selling pressure. We're moved to the low point of the day. It's not looking very, very good. We're at around 10,660 odd. Let's see what's selling off in the last few minutes. Vedanta has moved to the low point of the day. Remember, some strength in the dollar is not very good news for base metals. So when the dollar was seeing some weakness, it was good to play Vedanta. Now it seems with strength in the dollar, it's, we are seeing some selling pressure. Even yesterday, I think Vedanta was under some pressure. Yes Bank, after the big rally that we saw, that's come off a tad bit from the high point of the day. And Hindalco as well is seeing some selling pressure.
ITC, actually, that's the one that should come up for you, has the third or fourth highest weight on the Nifty itself. ITC too has moved to the low point of the day, extending the cuts that we've suddenly seen. So ITC should come up for you. HUL, ITC, both of them taking the FMCG index actually lower in trade because maybe perhaps some profits being taken off where money was made earlier.
Yeah, I think ITC and HUL, between them, they'll have nearly around 90% of the FMCG index or more than that. But let's go across to Ashwani. Ashwani, what's the trade on the Nifty today? Can we head lower even from here? Is there a trade? Can someone short at these levels? Would you be looking to buy the Nifty at some point of time?
See, overall, we remain in an uptrend. Now, today in the morning, it looks like a bit of a washout. It's hardly 10:30. So that way, it's tough to sustain this amount of selling. Given that IT is in a strong uptrend, I think you've had two strong down days on the IT index. So this is not the time to, take short positions and think the same way the market is already positioned. But in fact, this would be a good time to buy some calls or, get long on certain IT stocks, given that we have already fallen about 500 points on the IT index. Now, again, all of this should be done with proper stops. But my sense is that there's a good chance that in case there isn't great follow-through in Europe, etc., we could recover because the trend remains higher and you've basically given up, I think, 1 or 2 days worth of gains. Having said that, the banks are not falling. I mean, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank are holding on to significant gains. So that way, I think the first sector to move up could be the banks. So that's where you'd like to buy first and also on mid-cap IT. Having said that, individual stocks, Tata Elxsi is a buy with a stop of 1220, target of 1265. Mindtree is a buy with a stop of 1060, target of 1095. And Canara Bank is a buy with a stop of 256, target of 272.
Right, Ashwani, you've been talking about the uptrend that you're witnessing in the IT stocks that is supporting the index, but we're seeing some bit of profit taking in the mid-cap ITs stocks as well, mid-cap FMCG as well as the large-cap FMCG, which has also been in an uptrend. So would you take this dip as an opportunity to buy too?
See, that should be the first response. I mean, you don't go and short corrections because when the main trend reinforces, it'll take you out, in a jiffy. So I don't think, getting short on these strong stocks is a great trading strategy. Yes, today is a down day. Maybe it's because of Asia, etc. The weak bulls are throwing their positions. But the people, who probably take longer and larger positions, they would use the dip to buy in.
Okay, all right, Ashwani, thanks so much for that. Thanks for joining in and giving us all those details. Well, by the way, we were just running you through the headlines and telling you about Siemens numbers. They were more or less in line, but the order pickup isn't really seen. Take a look at the intraday chart. Now it's a rather large stock. It's down close to around 9% as we speak. So some of these frontline stocks as well are getting absolutely hammered.
The weakness in the mid-cap indices continues. So the mid-cap index is actually currently down about 260 points, taking it lower. Motherson Sumi, that one's coming for some selling pressure in the last 15 odd seconds. So Motherson Sumi at the low point of the day. We have a lot of these financials not doing too well as well. So LIC Housing Finance is too at the low point of the day. Petronet LNG. So across sectors, we're seeing some sell-off. And Siemens, that one continues to see some pressure. But let's talk earnings. We have the management of Orient Paper with us. I believe Mr. Pachisia has joined in now. Thanks a lot, Mr. Pachisia, for joining in. Good set of numbers in an otherwise weak market. Your stock is up about 5.5%. So just wanted to know, the revenue growth of 24% that you've posted, has that come by on the back of your tissue plant, which you had said will come on stream, or this is organic revenue growth that you're seeing? What's the volume growth then?
Actually, the growth has come from better performance on the previous facilities as well as this new tissue capacity that we added. So as a result of a combined result of higher revenues from the previous facilities, also because of product mix changes and quality improvements.
So if you can tell us the like-to-like growth, how much came from the existing facility and how much additional came from the tissue plants?
The additional from tissue plant has been roughly 15%, and the remaining has come from the previous facilities.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Pachisia. Thanks so much for joining in. Sir, before we talk about your numbers, the basic question that I want to ask you is when you're listing the Orient Electric, stock, a lot of queries we get in here. When is that likely to happen, sir? So I'll have to ask you that and then we'll go on with your numbers.
I'm happy to tell you that we have received finally the SEBI approval early this week.
Okay.
And hopefully by next week, Orient Electric should get listed.
So in May 2018, it's going to be listed for sure?
Yeah, by next week, I think.
Okay, all right. So getting back to your numbers, you were telling us about your tissue plant. I just wanted to focus on your fans business. if you could give us a sense, sir, about what is the current market share. I remember, I think the last time you joined us, it was at around 17-18% approximately. So if you could help us out with what's the market share, how many fans did you sell in the last year, and this year, what's the target?
I would not like to answer any question related to Orient Electric. Now it's a separate company.
Okay.
So therefore, I think it is better that you speak to the CEO or, of Orient Electric.
Okay.
So anything related to Orient Paper, please ask me.
All right, okay, we'll ask you about Orient Paper then itself. You know, your margins have seen a sharp improvement. Your EBITDA is up almost 115%. Earlier, I remember you telling us that your margins will improve as your capacity improves and new capacities come on stream. Now the tissue plant has come on stream. Your current organic revenues are also growing. Your margins are at close to around 19%. Is this the best that we've seen, or is there more improvement likely in the next year?
See, the new plant is now running at a capacity utilization of about 60%.
Okay.
So there is further headroom available for us to grow in the tissue business. Hopefully, by the end of the current financial year, we will be at 90% capacity utilization from the new plant.
So,
in addition, we are doing so many other taking other steps about cost reduction and efficiency improvement. So that should also help.
All right, Mr. Pajisia, you know, you're guiding for a good increase in terms of capacity utilization levels. So give us basic numbers for FY19. What kind of a revenue growth can we see, and what are the sustainable margins that your investors can look forward to from this division? That's the paper division.
I cannot be specific about any numbers
Roughly,
for FY19, but we think that we should be able to sustain and grow the EBITDA margins by another 1 or 2% within the next year on a higher revenue.
all right. In January, I think you had shut down some plant in China, right? Has that started? How much did that impact your revenue by?
No, we did not have any plant in China.
All right.
Okay, there were some reports that indicated that. So you're saying you don't have any plant, right?
No, we don't have any plant.
Okay, all right. So
there is another company called Orient in China, so maybe there is some confusion.
Okay, all right. Apologies for that, Mr. Pajisia. But let's focus on your non-core business then. You have land, you have buildings, you have stock in Century Textiles as well as HIL. If you could tell us what's the outlook there? Have you started selling some of those shares? Will you look to divest this land? Give us some outlooks. In this year, how much of money will you look to raise from this non-core asset sales, if any?
See, last year we sold some part of our Century shareholding.
Okay.
And that is what is reflected in the other comprehensive income. We got about 35 crores from there.
Okay.
We still have substantial shareholding in Century.
Right.
Century is not a strategic shareholding, so ultimately in due course that will certainly be sold. Okay. Depending on the prices.
So your current stake as of now, what the Bombay Stock Exchange where the disclosures have been made is close to around 1% plus. 155 crores thereabouts is what you hold in Century Textiles. So when do you plan to monetize that?
We will see. There is no, we have a very strong financial position as of now. Our total debt are only 50 crores. So with a debt equity ratio of 0.1. So we will wait for the right opportunity to divest.
Right. But in this year, sir, in this year, will you look to cut your stake by half at least? In Century Textiles?
I can't be specific, but again, during this month of April also, we have sold some shares of Century.
Oh,
how many?
How much is that?
We've just sold 25,000 shares.
25,000. All right, Mr. Pajisia, it's good you sold it actually in April because last couple of days the stock has lost close to around 8%. But it's always a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Pajisia. Thanks so much for joining in. Well, that's the management of Orient Paper. They're saying that Orient Electric, everyone's been talking about that will list in the next couple of weeks in the month of May itself. In terms of the core business, there is sounding confident, capacity utilization levels are likely to pick up. And finally, you can watch out for some divestment in terms of the non-core assets, particularly Century Textiles. We'll keep an eye out on that. Also adding the 25,000 shares were sold earlier this month on Century Textiles. As promised, let's get chatting with the management of Godavari Power and Ispat. They reported a rather strong set of numbers. And remember, the FY18 as well was a brilliant clear. To understand what went on in Q4 and what's the outlook for FY19, we have Mr. Gandhi who joins us. Hi, Mr. Gandhi. Congratulations. Superb set of numbers, sir. What's the way ahead, though? That's what the street wants to know. Let's focus on pellet prices. That's seen a big increase in the last few months, in the last 1 year as well. What are the current prices? How do you compare it with Q4?
The current prices are, in line with what we have achieved in the last quarter. Average price of the last quarter, which is close to about 6,000 to 6,200 rupees a ton. The prices went up substantially, during the quarter, and then came down after the restart of the mining operations by the certain mines on which the penalties were levied.
So prices, sir, Mr. Gandhi, sorry to interrupt, sir. Prices are similar to what they were in Q4 is what you're telling us?
Yes.
Right.
Q4, the prices of pellet are similar, but if you see the finished product prices have gone up substantially. Like in case of steel pellet, our average realization was close to about 30,000 rupees a ton, which has gone up to around 35,000 rupees a ton. And similarly, the price increase has taken place in wire rod and SD wire, etc. So definitely the price increase is there in the finished product, but pellet is currently holding at this level. And we expect that, this should improve going forward as we get more information, on the final product prices announced by the Odisha mining companies for iron ore lumps.
All right. So it's interesting that, the prices and the environment is improving going forward, and you're pretty sanguine about the business. But, Mr. Gandhi, if you could tell us, are you going to repay your debt? Because while the EBITDA of the company grew, the net profit also quintupled. Nearly 40-45% of your EBITDA goes into financing your debt. Are you looking to repay that debt? What does it stand at right now? By the end of this year, what is your target to take it down to?
We would have reduced close to about 100 crore of debt in the current financial year, as compared to the overall outstanding in the last financial year. And going forward, since during the current year, major portion of our operating profit has gone up to finance our working capital. We have not increased our working capital limit. However, we have financed through the internal accruals, and majority of our cash accrual has gone to the financing working capital, and our net current asset has increased by almost over 250 crore during the current year.
Mr. Gandhi, what is the debt on your books right now, consolidated debt?
Close to about 1,970 crores approximately.
And
1,980 crores.
And you are targeting to take it down to?
We would, number one, our operations, at the fourth quarter is the full year, full reflection of the current market condition, and rather improved market condition after the March 18 number.
Mr. Gandhi, sir, we are, we're a little short on time. If you could give us that number for FY19, how much will you reduce your debt by?
Debt we expect to reduce around, from the internal accrual close to about 250 to 300 crores.
250 to 300 crores.
Yeah.
Great, sir. In FY19, all right.
In 19, yes.
Superb, sir. So that's the detail that we're looking at. Just a quick question, sir. You're saying that your debt was reduced by 100 crores in the last year, but your total finance costs that you paid have gone up marginally by around 4 crores. Any particular reason for that? What rate are you borrowing at?
No, in fact, our accounts were restructured as on 31st of March, and certain adjustment out of the restructuring took place in the current financial year, and because of that, some impact is there.
All right. So one positive is that you're saying that you'll reduce your debt by more than 10% in the coming year. So that's good, sir. Well, congratulations on a superb EBITDA as well, sir, for the last year. Close to around 600 crores is what you did. Can you better that number, sir, for this year? You'll also be having some internal targets.
Our numbers have improved gradually over the last financial year.
Yes.
Yeah, if you see the first to fourth quarter number, it has been gradually increased.
Yes.
And current prices are holding, and our raw material costs, because of our captive mining as well as the substantial coal linkages we have, the cost is not going to increase disproportionately. However, the current realization it holds during the year, then definitely margins are going to improve from here on. But it is difficult to predict the absolute number on the market.
It's difficult to predict the absolute number, Mr. Gandhi. I remember the last time, that's in Q3, you told us here on the same show that Q4 will be better than Q3. Now prices have gone up. So Q1 FY19 will be better than Q4 FY18 in terms of an operating profit at least?
You know, FI, 18 in terms of, and FI 19 definitely would be better. But it is very difficult to, comment on a very short-term basis because we operate in a commodity market.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mr. Gandhi, for joining in and giving us all those details. That was Mr. Gandhi of Godavari Power, a big mover.